joining us now, the author of the book, The Strategy of Denial, former Trump Defense Department official Elbridge Colby, along with Florida Congressman Michael Waltz, who's one of the 15 lawmakers to send a letter to Biden urging him to facilitate the MiG transfer. Congressman, why hasn't he done it? Why did he veto that? What's the difference between Javelin, Stingers, and fighter jets?
Right. Well, Sean, Congress is, both Republican and Democrat have been pushing Biden all along on this. We pushed him on the Stingers. A bipartisan group went to Ukraine a couple of months ago when the administration was sitting on the Stingers. They didn't get them until a week after the invasion. But just last week, we almost doubled the amount of lethal aid authorized as part of the budget. We added another $40 billion to our defense budget. We pushed them on the oil ban. We pushed them on dropping them from the World Trade Organization and their permanent trade status. All of those things would have passed through Congress, but Biden said, no, we want to announce it. And so Pelosi backed off. But we are the ones pushing them. And now we have the Pentagon saying, well, the Ukrainians really don't need air superiority. They really don't need these jets to be able to challenge Russian air superiority to protect their cities, protect their supply convoys.
I'm not buying that.
It's ridiculous. It's a cover. It's a cover because they're afraid of Putin's escalation.
That's like Biden blaming Putin for a 40-year high of inflation that happened for the last 5 months.
Yeah.
That's like them blaming Putin for high gas prices. It's all one big lie. Elbridge, strategically, where would you take this? What should we be doing? What aren't we doing? Are we doing anything right at this point? And when you add China and Iran to the equation, where does it take you?
Well, Sean, I think as you pointed out, it's looking bad around the world. And I think as Congressman Waltz pointed out, the Congress is leading the way. I think the jets, we missed an opportunity to let the polls kind of seemed like they had it figured out. And now it's sort of blown to high heaven diplomatically, but they seem to make sense. The key here is to help the Ukrainians defeat the Russian invasion, but at the same time avoid World War III. I think that's a reasonable goal. And let's be honest, the Russians have a newer, more modern, more capable nuclear arsenal than we do. So we need to take that seriously. And the key here, you mentioned some of President Trump's successes. If you go back to President Reagan, President Eisenhower, the key is to be strong, as you've said, to be resolute, not to get pushed around, but also know what you're trying to achieve and stick to it, not go too far like we did in Vietnam. And I think the thing here, Sean, is Putin, I think, is into martial arts. I'm not sure which one. But, in martial arts, if you go too far back, like President Biden is, you can get pushed around.
I think I know the answer. I think it's Taekwondo. I do an eclectic blend of martial arts, starting with Krav Maga. But go ahead.
Right. Well, it's Taekwondo. But I think it's in jiu-jitsu. But if you lean too far forward, you unbalance yourself and you allow your opponent to take advantage. And we don't want to put ourselves into a pretext. The jets aren't that. The jets are relevant to the fight. As your guest just said, the logistics are going to be key. The Chinese are probably going to end up supporting the Russians. So we want to help the Ukrainians defend themselves. We don't need to do that in a way. Senator Rubio was talking about the downsides of the no-fly zone. Senator Graham was. I think there's a way to thread this needle. And again, it goes back to that model you're talking about with President Trump, President Reagan, and going back even farther.
It's funny because Donald Trump had quoted to me a number of times. I brought it up on Thursday. Sun Tzu, Art of War, keep your friends close, your enemies closer. That was his strategy. Interestingly, he doesn't like to reveal it. But thank you both. Elbridge, Congressman, thank you for joining us.